how not to run stealth. Or maybe how to run stealth, because this is how I used to run stealth. I do differently now. So imagine your typical group is trying to sneak past a couple of bandits, trying to get to the other side of a room, get past the bridge, whatever. Typical stealth situation. So what you do? Let everyone roll a stealth check, because everyone is sneaking past. So 3 to 6 players roll their stealth checks, and let's assume everyone rolls over 10, so you get some numbers between 10 and 20. Great. Now you let all of your bandits, all of your 6 to 10 bandits, roll a perception check to see if they can spot the players. And inevitably, some of them will spot the players, will call the alarm, and roll initiative. What you are doing here is rolling a lot of checks to see if the players fail, if the PCs fail with their stealth approach. And it's inevitable that some of the characters will have terrible stealth rolls. Maybe they are bad at stealth, their characters are bad at stealth, they're wearing heavy armor, they don't have a lot of dexterity, they're terrible at stealth. So they will have low rolls. But if you also roll perception checks for the bandits, for the guards, you add twice as much chance for the player's roll to fail, because the guards could roll really high, the guards could have critical success. And all of this becomes just frustrating for the players, because the stealth approach just will never work. Even if just the ones with the good stealth, with the good dexterity, go try sneaking, go infiltrating, it's very likely that they will be spotted and the alarm will be raised. Now, how to amend this situation? What should be obvious is that you shouldn't roll perception checks for the guards. They have a passive perception in D&D 5e for a reason. So don't roll for all of them. Just check if the players get over the passive perceptions of the guards. What you should also keep in mind is that other situations, for example combat, give you several rolls to determine the outcome. You have hit points, you have spell slots, you can change your strategy mid-encounter. And a bit of that should be applied to a stealth situation. Now in Blades in the Dark they handle it with something they call a clock. And you gather points towards the guards raising the alarm. So you're getting something like stealth damage. But that's a bit of an abstract concept if you ask me. But what you can do is give the players the chance to save their failed rolls. For example, Rogue is sneaking past the guard and he's failing his roll. The guard heard something, will stand up, will pick up his weapon, and will go check out what that noise was. Now, don't let him raise the alarm right away. Let him first go check it out and give the player of the rogue the chance to come up with another plan. Maybe take out the guard, maybe sneak around, maybe climb over him, maybe throw a rock to distract him. Maybe cast a spell, use a potion, something that will allow him to try again and hopefully get a better result. I mean, you wouldn't normally do it in a social situation when one character is trying to talk to an NPC and then makes a charisma roll to lie to that NPC, to manipulate him. And if that character succeeds, you don't have all other characters roll. If you don't have all other characters in the vicinity also roll to see if they could make it or if they are fucking it up, because then you would always end up in combat. And I'm not telling you to make it easy for the rogue to do their stealth approach. They fail the first roll, let them work to make the second roll. Let them use up their potions, let them use up their spell slots, let them try to come up with a creative solution to get out of the situation. I mean, if the rogues are clever, they would have contingencies in place for when they fail a roll. They will have their potions of invisibility. They will sneak in at night so they're not spotted right away when they make a sound. They will have a sniper on backup duty. They will have a distraction ready. They will have their smoke bombs to escape. It's like when your PCs are going to climb a mountainside, you would expect them to take at least a rope with them, better full climbing equipment, and then maybe try to remedy the risk involved with climbing by using the rope for safety, by tying the PCs together so one can keep the other from falling. And they should apply that same logic to a stealth situation, or combat situation, or a social situation, for that matter. Okay, now, so the sneaky guys, the rogues, can sneak in, they get their saving throws, so they have a better chance of succeeding in what they actually want to achieve. But they're still kind of doing it alone. They are separated from the rest of the group, because if they were to bring them, then the ones with the terrible stealth would mess up the whole approach and they would certainly be found out. But you don't necessarily have to run it that way. In the Forbidden Lands, the party makes a group roll. They decide on a leader that is leading the task to overcome whatever obstacle they're facing, and only the leader makes the roll, and if the leader succeeds, the group succeeds as a whole. That might be, for example, stealth. The thief is sneaking ahead and is then signaling the others when the air is clear and they can follow. This way, taking the point, taking the lead in a stealth situation. And the same could apply to social situations. When the bard is trying to talk the group past the guards at the gate, the bard will tell a story, and that will probably somehow involve the rest of the party. Like, we are circus performers, we are here to play in that and that tavern and juggle, and he's the strongest man alive, pointing at the barbarian. And only the bard will have to make that roll. And depending on how useful the rest of the party is in the situation, you could even give the bard some bonus because the rest of the party is helping. Also, maybe a penalty if the rest of the party is really not helping at all. But if you want it that way, suddenly the whole party can go on a sneak mission, can go on an infiltration adventure. They can try breaking and entering a rich merchant's mansion at the night and be part of that rogue gameplay that a thief player, rogue player would always like to do, but can't, or would have to do it alone because the rest of the party would be useless. Though I wouldn't overstretch the ability of a single party member to carry the rest of the party for every situation. For example, I allowed the thief in my Forbidden Lands party to guide the party through a dungeon from room to room and get past the patrolling guards. But when I wanted to do a sneak attack and backstab one of the guards so the air was clear, I didn't allow them to bring all of the party into hand-to-hand distance to hit the guards with their sword, all of them with advantage because they're out of stealth. No, that the rogue had to do on his own. The rest of the party, however, was near enough to use a ranged weapon and could serve as a line of backup, a line to fall back on should the rogue fail with their sneak attack. So yeah, there are certainly ways to run infiltration, to run stealth gameplay, somewhere between every attempt failing because you're rolling perception on all of the guards, and every attempt succeeding because the rogue has so many ways to get rerolls and roll for everyone else. There certainly is middle ground to have the party work for their success, to prepare and take steps towards getting their saving throws, and to remedy the risk of getting discovered. To have fallback and contingency plans in case someone fails the rolls. So, what is your worst stealth failure? Did your barbarian try to hide behind a tree but then rolled a natural one and found out that the tree was actually very slender and the barbarian was not covered at all? Did the king suddenly come in when you tried sneaking up with the crown jewels? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and goodbye.